My boss, but they'll say different things. Yeah, black and welcome, ladies.
Okay, Miss J, you are on the Incline with Crystal.
Thank you.
I'm excited to have you on the show. Jay's Gift Shop. This is Jay at Jay's Gift Shop. She is in the New Black Wall Street Market in Stonecrest, Georgia. And I am also one of her customers.
Yes,
right?
you are.
I
You
am.
are.
I've shopped here a couple of times for myself and my mother as well.
Yes.
So really excited about interviewing you today. Jay, tell the viewers on the Incline about the backstory about Jay's Gift Shop. Like, how did you come to this store?
Okay, well, you know, I am from a bloodline, a family line of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to do something a little differently. So my children are now gone, and we were empty nesters, and I think I couldn't settle down. So I came and found a new baby for us, my husband and I. And so one of the things that I've always liked is I love people, and I like cute things and people.
Don't we?
So the opportunities that people started talking about what was happening here at the New Black Wall Street, one of the motivators was actually be a part of the movement, to have an opportunity to be a part of something fresh and new, something that, you know, was making history.
Right.
So that was one of the biggest draws. And then the second thing out of that was, again, loving people and loving things. I started thinking about, you know, I've been in women's ministry for years. So I started thinking about things and how to service women. So I know that a lot of us like to have something unique and different that we don't see on everybody else.
Absolutely.
So that's where it came from, that I wanted to be a part of or service the community with items and things that they don't see everywhere.
That's what I enjoy about your store. There's an attractiveness here at Jay's store when you walk past, right? That gives you a feeling that she's speaking to you.
Thank you.
So that's an art. That's not an easy thing to do. So
Right.
where did you get the motivation to be able to do that? Were you always into fashion?
Well, it's personal, really, because I like different things. I don't like things that everybody else likes and whatever. So I think that was another driver, was for me able to find things that were really cute, the people that you wouldn't see everywhere. And so that was part of the motivation. So when I started the concept, it was simply to find unique personal items, things that would, you know, bring joy to people. And I'm going to tell you, Crystal, one of my greatest joys is when people come back and say, my mom, my sister, my girlfriend, my fiance loved it. And that just motivates me to dig harder, to try to find things that bring people joy.
Right. Jay, you know, on the Incline, I love to really talk to business owners and community entrepreneurs about what people don't see. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, when we see a person in business, it's beautiful and it's exciting because you see what's on the front side. But the goal is to motivate people to understand that there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I know you're probably having to deal with lots of different vendors or manufacturers. What are some of like the top 3 things that you can share with anyone who's looking to go into the apparel business or wants a boutique and just they don't really know where to start?
Yeah. My first thing is to have a plan. You must have a plan, because there's so many things that will get you distracted, will pull you off your course, have you where you'll be spinning around in circles, chasing your tails. So the first thing to do is have a plan. Take the time, write the vision down, make it plain on what you want to do and where you want to go. So that's the first thing I say, is have a plan. Secondly, I think is so paramount and so important is that you do something that you enjoy.
Yes.
Something you enjoy, not something because they say the hottest thing or the most profitable thing is, but something that you enjoy. So that would be my second thing. And then finally, my last one would be is execution, determination. Execution and determination. one of my pet peeves is people always talking about stuff, talking, and never see it in fruition, never see it activated. So that's one of my pet peeves. So I tell people all the time, from my children,
Stop
my
talking.
friends, yeah, and let's make it happen. Just do it.
Yes.
You know, not trying to steal from Nike, but just do it. So, you know, those are my 3 things, you know, that I would tell anybody is just take that time, plan.
Yeah.
You know, take that time, make sure it's something you enjoy. So you're not waking up every morning going, I don't want to do this.
You see how excited Jay is. This is her real personality. So when you come by her shop, you feel that energy inside the shop. It's in the decor, that same drive. And so it does need to speak to your persona, doesn't it?
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Whatever you're doing, be genuine about it, because your customers will pick up on that.
Make sure you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the writing it down, the planning, I think people get overwhelmed in the planning part. Yeah. Because it's all up here. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
And you just have to have the patience you can't write it all down in one sitting. Mm-hmm. Can't write it down in one time, but you just take your time. And, you know, I'm a big believer in God. And as he gives it to you, write it down. Keep going. You know, write it down. He'll give you more. Line upon line, precept upon precept. He'll give you more. And you just write it down. But you cannot skip it. That's a step that you can't skip.
Right. It's like you walk past the shop, right? Jay's gift shop. And it looks easy, doesn't it?
Yes. But it isn't. It isn't.
It looks easy.
It isn't at all, because as you were talking about earlier about the parts you don't see, you know, I can pick out something that I think is just going to be the best, and
Seller,
it isn't.
Right?
It isn't. And then something else that I half-heartedly think about, and that's what the customers love. So again, you just have to make sure that you're flexible, make sure that you're in tune to what your goals are and what you want to accomplish.
Right. What are some of the hard knocks that you would share?
I think the biggest hard knock is being able to make sure that you're taking care of the things you don't see as well. You know, your accounting.
Yes. Don't we talk about that on the Incline?
Okay.
Right. The accounting, the taxes.
Yes, the taxes, all of that. So I think that's the hard
paperwork.
knock. Yeah, the paperwork.
It's the paperwork, the inventory, the accountability to all of this.
Yes.
Right.
And those are must do's as well.
Mm-hmm. I have so many people that I talk to along my journey as a business owner and just a community advocate. And they're like, oh, well, I don't really want to do that part. Right. Yeah. And so because they don't want to do that part, they're not doing that part. Like the part is not getting done.
Exactly.
Because they're stressed about it.
Yeah. And sometimes you just got to hire somebody. You don't want to, but, make that a budget line item and you hire someone to do it for you.
And you can aspire to hire someone. Yes. So, everybody might not be at the position to hire right off, but that is the stretching part for yourself.
Exactly.
Is that you need to know the basics of what it is. Exactly. Like keeping up with your finances. You might not be able to hire an accountant right away, but you need an Excel spreadsheet.
Exactly.
You need to, plug in those numbers. You need to keep up with your receipts. Some people may say keeping up with receipts is a little antiquated, but if that is where you are,
that's right.
It's the best teacher, right?
You got to do what you have to do to make it work. And then my other thing is, you may see those gross sales and think, but it's practical. You got to take your time and see what your inventory costs you, what your overhead is, period. Not just your inventory, your rent and everything else. And then you got to look at that bottom line. You can't get so excited with that top number.
About the top number.
Yes, that top number will excite you.
Right.
But there's more to it.
Right. Because I think people believe that the success is in the top number.
Yes. No.
And it's like, see how much of your overhead has to come out of that top number.
And then you see that
becomes your reality.
Yes, yes. And it becomes a motivator as well.
It does. Yeah, it does. Talk more about that part.
Well, again, in making that plan, you set the goals that I want to make X amount of dollars in X amount of time. So if you see you're getting close to that, it's a motivator because you're like, I'm almost there. So I'm going to work a little harder. I'm going to do more planning to make sure I'm choosing the right items that the customer would want. And
Jay, what do you do when you believe an item is like the perfect item and it doesn't do so well?
Yeah,
what's the process with that? Because that's a little deflating, right?
Yeah, it is. I'm flexible. I just pivot. I'm gonna be honest. I'll just pivot and just say okay and laugh about it, or my husband, I'll discuss it, and he's picked some things that go very well. So he's like, I chose that. So, and just pivot.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah. I guess you can't really, some of what you're saying is that you can't get so emotionally tied
Yes.
to certain things when you're running a business.
Yeah.
Right?
And sometimes maybe all business owners, so I'm not picking on us, but
sure.
Sometimes I think African Americans tend to get too emotionally tied in their business. I think that's where some of that quitting comes in, that giving up, because I think we're so emotionally tied to it. You are you. The business is the business. The business is an offshoot of you. So, not the other way around.
Right.
The
so
business
make decisions from
yes,
logic.
exactly.
Right.
And business.
Analyze.
Yes.
Right. What you're doing, and not make your decisions from your emotions.
Exactly.
How you're feeling that day.
Exactly.
How your family is feeling that day.
Yeah.
What mama said about a particular thing. Right? It's really in the details.
It is. And again, remaining steadfast.
Right. So what are some of the really, exciting pieces that you like and the customer likes?
Well, one of the biggest is these bags.
Okay.
I mean, these are just one of the most popular items that I have.
I can see why.
People love them. And they're very practical,
That's
too.
really nice.
They're very cute, but they're practical as well.
Right. Fashionable, too.
Fashionable and
these are travel bags, by the way. They have rollers on them, right?
Yes, and a lot of executives and educators buy these because instead of pulling computers and laptops on your shoulders, you can roll them.
Yeah.
So that is just a real popular item that a lot of people like. I have different colors and styles and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, my fedoras. I'm wearing one today.
Fedora.
But these also are very popular. We went through the movement when the red bottoms was all the rave and all the craze was over the red bottoms. So these have always done well.
It's a nice accent piece.
But I have all colors and shapes and sizes, so they do very well. Okay. My dresses and my little cute dresses and outfits.
And she does so well. You can kind of see a little in the background of, how she places things in the shop. She's just not throwing them in position, right?
Right, exactly. And I change them.
Okay.
One of the things that I do is I change them around because you want people to walk by and say, "Oh, that's the same thing she had last week." But I have people tell me I have repeat customers. I'm blessed that I have repeat customers. And so because of that, I have to have something different for them. So I think about it in my inventory. I make sure it's something different.
Yeah, something fresh and exciting.
Yes.
And they probably come in looking for that.
They do.
Right?
Like, what you got this week?
Yeah. So let's talk about repeat customers versus new customers, and why is that important, Jay?
Well, repeat customers are certainly because they not only become your repeat customers, they become your advocates. They will in turn take that and tell their friends. And, I tell them my Wednesday crew that comes to the concerts that they have in the Pink Lion. I brought my friend in here this week. I brought my sister in here this week. So that always works very well for me too. Of course, you can't be, you're not going to survive with just repeat customers. So your new acquisitions of new customers are just as important. And the only way to do that is to be able to have something that's inviting, as you said, and fresh to draw them in to become a customer.
Absolutely.
And my first corporate America job was customer service. And so
I can tell.
Yeah, that was my
I can tell. So, also on the Incline, we talk about background, the background of a person. A lot of times you see what they're doing today and you think that's where it started and that's where it stops, but not true.
That's
right? So you want to learn from the place where you are today and just stockpile the education.
That's right. Stockpile the education. That's beautifully said, because my first corporate America from college job was customer service. So that's also so vitally important that you keep your customers happy. You make them feel warm and welcome.
Sometimes you go into shops and stores and people are just dry.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we want people to follow us around and harass us, because I don't think we want that.
Right.
But it's something inviting about customer service, right?
Yes.
It's in the service, and people will pay the price.
That's right.
Your ticket price for items when they feel they're receiving customer service.
You're right. So I tell any entrepreneur, anybody, let your customer service be just the engine, the gas for your engine to fuel your company. Customer service. I talk to them. I don't just go pass them a receipt. Talk to them. They talk to me, and most of them want to be talked to.
And don't you have to do that? You have to push up the incline on days when you might not feel so great that day.
Yes, yes,
You know, you
yes,
have to remove self.
yes,
You know, so
yes.
how does that work when you walk in and you just might have a headache that day?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
might not feel so well that day, but you got to think about the customer.
Yes, this person is coming in to share with me, you, their hard-earned money.
Mm,
They have chosen to come to you. And because of that, they're entitled to get the kindness, the respect, and everything else that they deserve for coming in your shop.
mhm.
So you have to deliver.
Right, right. You got to think about that first because
Mm-hmm.
that is something that I think we all have experienced. You go
Mm-hmm.
into different
Oh,
shops
yes.
and you walk out kind of bewildered.
Yeah,
It's a
like,
feeling. It's like, did they really want me in that store?
yes, yes. And
Hmm.
especially this economy right now, people trying to spend money with you. The least you can do is make them welcome
Yeah.
and, feel good about their purchases.
And when you have a brick and mortar shop, you have online competition, right?
Yes,
So I mean, we live
yes,
in a global economy.
yes.
So you really can't afford to
Exactly.
not give it your best.
Exactly. Because
Right.
oftentimes online price points may be a little lower because
Mm,
they don't have the overhead that you
sure,
have. So
sure.
because of that, their price points may be lower. So what's going to make the difference in you and them?
The experience.
Yes.
It's in the experience.
That's right.
You know, we pay for experiences,
Mm-hmm.
don't we?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Yeah.
we pay for Jay's quality customer service and the way she makes you feel when you walk into her shop. So this
Mhm.
is really cool. Jay, thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you
Thank
being on
you.
the incline and
Yes.
just sharing some motivation from Jay's gift shop. Make sure you come by, check Jay out at the New Black Wall Street Market in Stonecrest, Georgia. I'll see you the next time on the incline.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're so
All
welcome.
right.
Okay.